ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Key Time Sports. It's Key Time coming back to talk about Game 4s from the Eastern Conference Finals, Semifinals, and the Western Conference Semifinal series between the Oklahoma City Thunder, Denver Nuggets, and the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. So last night. The reason why I wanted to start it off a little bit different with the Thunder first is because this was a very close and intense game, and you can see where the Oklahoma City Thunder pretty much they had a balanced attack outside of a few starters. Now, Chet Holmgren, 8 points. Jalen Williams, 10 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, 8 points. Shea Gillis Alexander, 25 points. Lugaz Dort, 6 points. Bench production for the Thunder: Jalen Williams, 2 points. Alex Caruso, 10 points. Isaiah Joe, 1 point. Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, 11 points each. Now the Denver Nuggets: Aaron Gordon, 15. Michael Porter Jr., 3 points. Nikola Jokic, 27 points. Jamal Murray, 17 points. Christian Braun, 17 points. Bench production for the Nuggets: Peyton Watson, 2 points. Russell Westbrook, 6 points. Julian Swather, 0 points. Now, one thing that I can say about this series, I believe it's going seven, and I did say Oklahoma in six, but even if it do go seven, Oklahoma is going to win because they have the home court advantage. Now, one thing that I can say as far as team wise, when it comes to the Denver Nuggets, we know that team wise that they can score. We know that Nikola Jokic can put up triple doubles on a nightly basis. We know that Jamal Murray, he can become a flamethrower at any minute in the game. But you need more consistent scoring outside of those two. You just have the Denver Nuggets, they just have a dynamic duo. They don't have a big three. They just have a dynamic duo, and they're not getting much from their bench production at all. Last night, they only had 8 points from the bench. And in order to win a championship, you need to at least be averaging 20 to 25, maybe even 30 points coming off the bench. Now for the Oklahoma City Thunder, key contributors to they have key contributors to their scoring when it comes to the bench. You see Aaron Wiggins and Cason Wallace. Sometimes it can be Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso scored 20 points in game two. So it's contribution by committee. That's the word I'm looking for. Contribution by committee when it comes to the not Orlando, but Oklahoma City Thunder. Now for the Denver Nuggets, they pretty much have to start back from square one because you fired Mike Malone a month and a half ago in March. Then you had a tough 7 game series that just passed versus the LA Clippers. And then also the Denver Nuggets, they have this new coach. He's not really a head coach. He's just filling the position right now. But I believe that the Denver Nuggets, what they need is an organizational change. Now, not too many people know who the Denver Nuggets owner is, but he is the owner, Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke is the owner of the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Rams. So the Denver Nuggets, what they need to do, they need to build their bench production because let me tell you, you're not going to receive much scoring outside of Peyton Watson, Julian Swather, Darko Saric, Zeke Naji, Valko Kankar, DeAndre Jordan, and Jalen Pickett. You're not going to receive many scoring outputs from those guys. Now, one thing I can say is that game 5 is tomorrow night. Yeah, game 5 is tomorrow night and the favorite is the Thunder. Can the Thunder win this game in six? If I'm the Thunder, I want to finish this series immediately because more than likely the OKC Thunder will be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have a 2-1 series lead, but let's say that series could be over if Steph Curry doesn't come back in time. Now, another thing I'm going to say about the Denver Nuggets, and I'm going to go on to the OKC Thunder, then switch on over to the Pacers and Cavaliers. The Denver Nuggets, they have been on a organizational downward spiral because ever since they won the championship in 2023, last year they had trouble with their bench production. This year they've had trouble with their bench production. One contributing factor is when they won the championship, they had five players that could come off the bench and average 15 points per game. 15 points per game. So now, what has transpired in the last couple of years that the Denver Nuggets bench can't keep up with the rest of their opponents is they have gotten rid of some of those key contributors to their 2023 NBA championship team. And they are hurting right now. They are. And as far as the Thunder, they are in the driver's seat in this series. I know that the series is tied 2-2, but the Thunder are in the driver's seat. And if I'm the Thunder, I'm trying to do my best to finish this series as soon as possible because you don't want to give a wounded dog life. And right now, the Denver Nuggets, they are dogs that are wounded. And they need some kind of momentum, some type of, I'm not going to say encouragement, but some kind of momentum to get them back in the swing of things. But I don't see that with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't see the Oklahoma City Thunder giving away this series at all. The next, the next game, well, excuse me. First off, I'm going to go through team statistics for both the Thunder and the Nuggets. So last night, the Thunder was more efficient than the Nuggets. Thunder made 10 threes, Nuggets made 11. Free throw percentage 76% for the Thunder, 72% for the Denver Nuggets. Total rebounds, Oklahoma out rebounded Denver by 6. Offensive rebounds plus 3 for Oklahoma. Defensive rebounds plus 3 for Oklahoma. So y'all get my drift. Y'all see that this math is starting to add up. Assists plus 3 for the Thunder. Turnovers even, but like I've been saying, what can lose you a game in the playoffs? Turnovers, bad clock management, and bad shot selection. This is specifically for the NBA, but this is for all sports. Bad shot selection lost the Denver Nuggets the game last night. Because if anybody can remember, OKC up by 14 at one point. Then they were up by 15. But the Denver Nuggets, they had a lead. They were up 8 with under 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe the Denver Nuggets can somehow somehow keep this momentum and ride it on into the fourth quarter. But obviously that didn't happen. Points off of turnovers, 18, 18, Denver Nuggets, 8 for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Points in the paint, 3, 30 for the Thunder, Denver Nuggets, 20. Now for the largest lead, it was 15 for the Thunder, and the largest lead was 8 for the Thunder. So game 5 is tomorrow night. And let me tell you all, whoever the series, what team that wins game 5 goes on to win the series 82% of the time. 82%. of the time. The game five winner goes on to win the series. So whoever it is right there for the taking. Both teams are playing neck and neck. I believe the Denver Nuggets, they are pretty much making this a series when it was supposed to be a gentleman's sweep at best. It was. Now, the next game I'm going to cover is the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing I'm going to say about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I said this before the series started, was Jared Allen for the Cleveland Cavaliers is going to have a tough series, and he has, because he has been they're big on the floor, but the Indiana Pacers, they've always went small. They've always went small. And you can see it last night. Cavaliers, Evan Mobley, 10 points. Jared Allen, 2 points. Darius Garland, 21 points. Donovan Mitchell, 12 points, but he had an injury and did not come back for the second half. Max Strus, 11 points. Bench production for the Cavaliers. Dean Wade, 3 points. Chuma Akaki, Okeke, 3 points. Jalen Tyson, 11 points. DeAndre Hunter, 5 points. Isaiah Orko, 13 points. Tristan Thompson, 3 points. Ty Jerome, 7 points. Sam Morrell, 2 points. Javante Green, 2 points. Craig Porter Jr., 4 points. Indiana Pacers, I have got to step back and say that the Indiana Pacers, they might be a team they might be on a collision course to face the Boston Celtics again. Come on, world, let's just start wrapping our minds around that right now. Yeah, let's just start. Indiana Pacers statistics when it comes to their players. Pascal Siakam, 21 points. Aaron Naismith, 12 points. Miles Turner, 20 points. Andrew Nabar, 7 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 11 points. They didn't really need him last night. And then let me tell you, you had significant contributions from the Pacers bench production last night. James Johnson, 2 points. Obi Toppin, 20 points. Jarris Walker, 4 points. Johnny Furphy, 0 points. Thomas Bryant, 5 points. Tony Bradley, 0 points. TJ McConnell, 13 points. Benedict Mathurin, 0 points. Ben Shepard, 14 points. The, the statistics for the Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. Before I get into that, I just want to want everybody to, I'm going to refresh everybody's mind on how the Cavaliers and the Pacers got here. Now, the Cavaliers, they pretty much benefited from I'm going to say, from a fortunate schedule. Because at the start of the season, the Cavaliers, they won 15 straight games against subpar competition. Then they faced against top-notch competition at the middle part of the season, mainly around January and February. They beat OKC, they beat Boston, they beat the Denver Nuggets. They beat all top-notch teams. They even beat the New York Knicks. But one thing I can say is that, see, this is why I say, now I know Cavaliers fans out there, wherever you may be watching and wherever you may be listening, I know that y'all gonna be upset with me when I say this, but Cleveland Cavaliers, you all are a regular season team. Regular season team, because I throughout this series, the Cavaliers have been dealing with injury to this player, injury to that player, and now you have a significant injury to Donovan Mitchell. You have a significant injury to Donovan Mitchell, and who knows, Donovan Mitchell, he might not even play Game 5. But one thing I can say is the Indiana Pacers, I don't think that they are going to let the Cavaliers come back from a 3-1 series. So this series is pretty much done. I said the Cavaliers would win in six, but that is in jeopardy right now. That prediction is in jeopardy. So let's see what the Indiana Pacers can do as far as coming back for game five. But if I'm the Cavaliers and if I'm the head coach, only thing I'm gonna tell my players is guys, we just need to focus on game five. If we win game five, then we live to fight another day and we can start focusing on game six. Cavaliers, only game that you have is a guarantee is game five. Game five. That's the only game that you have as a guarantee in your season. So now, Pacers, they were up by this was not a close game at all. The score, the final score really doesn't indicate anything. The Pacers, they were up by 44 points at one time in this game, and it pretty much was a foregone conclusion at halftime, because after halftime, Donovan Mitchell did not play. Donovan Mitchell did not play, and the Cavaliers, they were pretty much, a shell of themselves when it comes to being efficient on the floor. So now, Cleveland Cavaliers, one thing, you got game five on your home floor. You have to win game five to stay in the series. Indiana Pacers, one thing I can say is the Indiana Pacers, one thing they need to do is get the series over with as soon as possible. That's the thing. That's one thing that the Pacers need to be focused on. Now, Pacers, when this could be the potential of this is the Eastern Conference, potentially Eastern Conference matchup. Pacers versus the Boston Celtics, or the Pacers versus the New York Knicks. Now, Indiana Pacers and Celtics, they played last year. So they pretty much know how each other is going to play. The Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks, they played 4 times in the regular season. So all of these teams, they understand how each other plays. It's just a matter of if you can stop it for 4 straight games and win the series. So that's all I have to say for the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. And another thing that I want to say is the both games tonight between the Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, and the Warriors, Timberwolves, they are critical games because Minnesota, they have a 2-1 series lead. If they go up 3-1, series in all likelihood is over because Steph Curry, he is not going to come back. And Boston Celtics, you got to even this series up tonight. You got to. If the Celtics even up the series tonight, obviously this is going to a game. This series is going to go to a game seven. And one thing about the Boston Celtics in a game seven at home, I am not betting against them. So that's all I have for. That's all I. And with that, those are my reactions to last night's game four semifinals games between the Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, and the OKC Thunder and Denver Nuggets. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. And also, we are doing an expansion right here on YouTube. In the next few weeks, we will be covering the NBA Finals, and we will also be doing NFL OTAs coverage too. So you do not want to miss out on any other content that I have in store. And remember, everybody, one last thing: the key is always on time.